Today we're tackling the third track in this racing series. This is being done on a live server, as this track sadly isn't available in Arena Commander. With the 3.22 update, all racers on the live servers were grounded, as there was a bug forcing a crash once the timer counted down to the start line. The good news is the devs fixed it within a few days, and we're back up and running. This racetrack is known as the Skyscraper. It's near Area 18, only a short 2-3 minute flight from the space station, and from what I've seen, it actually looks incredible. I've set my regen point at the Magini Point Clinic, so we can have a quick recovery if needed, and based on my previous experience, I'm sure that's going to come in handy. For this race, we're running with the P72 Archimedes. This is a snub that works alongside the Constellation Phoenix, but on its own, it's actually a viable racer. It's similar in overall design to the Merlin, but it's more agile, it has a higher SCM speed, and to me it feels more responsive. It comes stock with 4 size 1 hardpoints, and a variety of mid-tier military grade and competition components. As with the Merlin, this ship doesn't have a quantum drive, so you either need to race relatively close to your hangar or pad, or transport the ship to the track in something much bigger. Given we're likely going to crash and burn, respawn for learning this track is definitely the way to go. With all that out of the way, we head down to the Skyscraper racetrack and take a few low passes to get a better handle on the overall layout. As I try to forget, you don't know till you know to do better. Put up with the minimum effort. I got till I'm making my head hurt, but I've gotta let it go. Don't know what you don't know till you know better. This current shape is stock, but I did remove the hard points. Now, I'm not sure if this is the case, but I've read that in previous patches, removing the weapons did actually reduce overall weight. I haven't tested this, so if anyone knows if that's true, by all means let me know in the comments below. But I'll happily take any advantage I can get, so if weight reduction helps, I'm all for it. Skyscraper looks intimidating. It's a track built right into the skyline of our corp. With the overpass, you can see the checkpoints. Most of these include a fluorescent pink gate and arrow indicator showing the direction to travel. This course features some elevation changes, it's got a bunch of aggressive corners, and the hardest part seems to be the multiple obstacles on the course. This track is built through buildings around pillars and has multiple points where just a bit of misalignment could send you right back to the space station. From the tracks I've done so far, this one seems to be by far the most unforgiving and the most technical. I could tell this one was going to be a decent challenge. Not wanting to start this one up dark, I cruised for a bit longer until the sun rose, and we started on our first run. As with any other track, my first run is typically done with coupled engines, half throttle, just to get a feeling for the track, plan my entry and exit on corners, and hopefully get comfortable enough to run decoupled at higher speeds going forward. This track didn't disappoint. Even at low speeds, I misjudged passes multiple times. I clearly had my work cut out for me. With my first run finishing at a horrendous over 2 minute time, I knew this track was going to take a ton of practice just for me to get platinum. So, I had a few deaths, but I just kept tossing myself at it. But as I got further into learning this track, one thing was made incredibly clear.
I just wanna be the first in line, never wanna stop and ask the time. It's always now, so go and get it, make it look good, never sweat it. There was never any question of if I was ever gonna show the love, spray the champagne.
So as with anything, practice eventually gets you some muscle memory. After multiple runs, I started to get a bit more consistent. I'd still have the occasional bronze, but was able to get silver, and then finally had a gold run shortly after. With this track, knowing when to be at SCM speed and which corners to have a clean exit seemed to make a huge difference in your overall time. I still wasn't happy with the number of exits on a few of the corners, but I was able to keep within the main racing line, and as a result I was able to shave off considerable time. It wasn't until my 12th attempt that the track finally started to feel better. This one took me way longer than both Lorville and Icebreaker to learn. But there is something incredibly rewarding about tossing your ship through a building and coming out the other side in one piece. Skyscraper is definitely a more technical track, and as with most tracks in the game, there are some amazing times on the leaderboards. For me, it was time to focus and finally give that platinum run a shot. I was getting close, and I know I could easily shave off 10 to 15 seconds just by cleaning up my corner, entry, and exit. Alright, with that false start out of the way, let's try that again. On a related note, if anyone has any advice as how to best kick off the race, I do this a lot. Any tips are appreciated.
Next to you.
And after more time than I'd like to admit, I was finally able to put this track behind me, and I'm so looking forward to tackling the next track ahead. If I've got my order correct, our next challenge is the snake bit. So if you're new to the community and want to give the game a shot, my referral code is up on screen now. But more importantly, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. If you feel I've earned it, a like and sharing this content goes a long way to helping the channel. Again, I just appreciate the view. I'm still learning the whole editing thing, and I know these videos are kind of rough, but hang around and I promise they'll get better. As always, thanks again, and hopefully you'll join me for another venture in the verse. Take care.